Hey guys, and welcome back to the Make Your Wish podcast. I'm Erica, and I'm here with my bestie.
Desi, hi guys.
Hi, we're so excited to be back for season two once again. Like, if you guys did not catch our last episode and you're a Love Island fan, definitely tune in to episode one of season two because it was definitely a treat and caused a little controversy. I'm kidding, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
trolls, lots of trolls, but that's okay.
Yes, yes. But you know what? It's all good vibes, all good vibes. And that's what we're going to be doing today on episode two. We're just vibing with
Yeah.
each other. And I got some pretty interesting things I want to talk about. Desiree has some pretty interesting things she wants to talk about. So, yeah, let's go into our questions. Let's do
Which
it.
is will be.
You can ask the first question today, ma'am.
Yeah, you always do it, so I'll take it. Okay, so let me get one on my head. I actually saw one on TikTok and I was like, I'm gonna ask Erica that. Um, okay, let's just do a would you rather question.
Okay.
So I this one I did find on TikTok too.
Okay.
Um so there is a house fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can only save one thing out of three. So the first one is $2 million that's under your bed. The second one is your man. And the third one is your dog. You can only save two out of the three and be honest.
Okay, well, the first elimination comes pretty easy because this little rascal gave me a run for my money this morning. So
Oh
I'm sorry. I love you so much, but goodbye to my dog because he's
no.
hard headed anyways. So I'm
Oh
kidding.
no. The
It would be
doggy
a hard
trolls
decision. I'm
are
a dog
coming.
lover too. What do you say? It would be a hard decision,
I
but
said the doggy trolls are coming.
I know. I'm like bait for like hate.
I know. No, me. No, me. It's
Okay. So yeah, my dog is going first. I love him though. I swear I do. Um, oof.
yeah.
$2 million to recreate my life or my man.
I'm crying. This
That's
is
a hard
bad.
question. I mean,
That's hard.
okay, so right now we aren't married, so I don't have like by law, I'm not locked under the contract or for better or for worse. So,
Mm,
clearly it's
Now
worse at this
watch
point. We didn't had a house fire. So because he has not put a ring on my finger yet,
Ooh. Ooh,
I'm
you
gonna
always
take
come
the
with that.
money. Wait, is he gonna die in the house fire?
I don't know.
Oh man, that depends. Like if he
No,
can
I
still
won't
make
say
it
that.
out.
I love Man. So no. He can make it out if
If
he
there's a
makes it
chance,
out.
we're gonna say that there's a chance that he can make it out. I'm going for the money and like he's strong, he can get out. So
Yeah. And
period.
you're getting the money for y'all. Like you're
Exactly.
hoping
Thank you.
y'all will make it out together. So it's like,
You're smart.
and
So
you're
we're like
hoping he
dividing
grabs
and
the dog.
conquering. What do you say?
Yeah. And you're hoping he grabs the dog.
Yeah.
Fat boy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, you answer that exact same question.
Oh gosh. Well, I don't have a dog, so obviously that one can
Oh,
go.
okay. Well, let's
Unless yeah, you
change
can
the
rephrase.
dog with we can
Yeah.
change the dog with um a photo album. Let's say that like you literally had no pictures, your parents, your family didn't have any pictures. Like
Mm,
you have one photo album of all of Ace's baby pictures.
mhm.
So you have a photo album that you can save of all
Mhm.
your memories and pretend like technology doesn't exist either. So you don't have a phone full of
Both of them.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. I am going to do the same thing you're doing. I'm gonna pray my man because he hasn't put a ring on it either. So
Okay.
I'm gonna pray my man
Uh,
gets out with our photo album, and I'm gonna start new with my
okay.
band 2 mil.
Okay, you're 2 mil. And I mean that's a fresh start at that point. Like,
Uh, No,
yeah.
I'm let me stop there. I think both of us, if we were in that actual position, we would totally grab our man.
Oh,
But
100%. First of all,
but
I'd be
two
hoping that my
million,
man grabbed me because like we're in a
baby.
fire. We're in a
I was going to say that when you were talking. I would be hoping he grabs me because
Right, if
I
he
don't know
can
how
grab
I'm gonna get
me,
out.
then I'm going for the money, period, because that should have been your number
Yeah,
1 priority getting out of
I'll
here.
get. That's the whole thing. Like I get the money, hold on to it. You get me. Like make sure that's the boom, boom,
That's the
boom.
game plan. That's the only way it works, and I agree, and if we have time, we can grab the dog while we're heading out, okay?
Mhm. If we have time, yeah.
I'm
Poor
so
fat
kidding,
boy.
okay. I'm
Fat boy
so
love
kidding, okay, okay.
you.
So, yeah, okay, cool. Great question, very
That was
entertaining.
a good question.
My
You
question.
gotta, Erica, did you see, sorry, did you
What? No,
see
you're
that
fine.
guy I've seen him on Facebook now and on TikTok, but he's like this African man, I believe, and he has
Uh-huh,
like an accent and they like ask him questions. But it's like skits now that I've noticed because I saw him for the first time and I'm like, oh, he's just hilarious. But
uh-huh.
I've seen him different ones now. But they'll just ask him kind of questions like that. He is so funny. I'm gonna have to send him
You're
to
gonna have
you.
to send it to me, I haven't seen
Yeah.
him.
I feel like maybe when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him." But he just plays dumb. Like he'll be like, "No," like on that question, he was like, "My wife." He was like, why would I go get her 2 million? I could go get one wife in every continent." Like it was
Oh,
so
did he
funny.
say that? Oh
Yeah,
my
because
god.
one of them was your wife. It was like your wife, the money, or your mother-in-law. I think that was the
Uh-huh.
question. Why would I? Why would I say my wife when I can just start new and get one in every continent? I was dying. I was dying. But he does a lot of funny skits, so I'll send them to you. And I know y'all who are watching know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, that's
So,
actually hilarious. I love content like that. Like that content is like gold. It's entertaining, like
it's
cool.
hilarious.
Okay, my question is kind of random.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of random. I don't know. But if
Okay.
animals could talk, which animal do you think would be the rudest and why?
The
The
rudest.
rudest animal.
I feel like I feel like this could be wrong, but just because of their like mean mug face, I feel like gorillas like would be just like brats. Or like, let me
Yes.
think of another.
No, wait, that was actually great because yesterday I seen this I think it's a YouTube short. I seen it and
Mhm.
it's like the zookeeper, he didn't know the gorilla was out and he like
Oh,
went to go like operate, in his little pen or whatever and the gorilla, I swear, he came, he was like after the man and the man was like running for his life and he was kind of trapped in there. It was a bad situation, but it was so funny. Like, I feel like they don't
yeah,
play, period. And
they
they don't
don't
care.
play.
They don't
Yeah,
care.
it does look like they're like moody too. Like they
Yeah.
just,
Oh, for
but
sure.
I think it's that mean mug face that
And
is
I
like,
think it's honestly because they're the most human-like in a sense,
yes, they're
because they have
smart.
characteristics like us. So, like, yeah, it makes sense. I agree.
It gives like you'll say whatever you want or do whatever you want.
I feel like rats are rude too because why are you even existing? Like, they're rude, they don't care, like, in New York, they take over.
Oh,
They will come in
yes.
your house and, like, rob you.
And just look at you. Yeah,
Yes,
like they
like, they are
fine.
rude, and skunks too, because why are you
Ew,
spraying
yeah.
everywhere? Like,
Right. Because you know that stuff
pretty
stinks.
rude.
Like you
Exactly,
know that
it stings.
that's rude. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
good. I
know.
didn't
That
think
was such a
about
random
that.
question, I don't know, I just
Yeah, that was.
to be
I love it
honest
though.
ChatGPT just gave it to me because I could not think of the question at the time.
That's okay. We love ChatGPT. We love
We love
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Shout out. Well, okay. I wanted to ask this question. What do you think, or do you think even that there was like one moment that changed the trajectory of your life? Like, do you think it was one moment, or do you think it was like events, or can you remember it being like one specific thing that you were like, okay, I got to do things differently, or move differently, or
Yeah,
whatever?
for sure. One thing that really comes back to my head, I just feel like it was multiple events that accumulated together. Um,
Hmm.
and this is actually like recently kind of as well. It's like I've learned that with like so many people, places, situations, etc., like you can't put your all into them, or you can't let them be your foundation, or you can't let them be your source of happiness. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like I've been let down a lot by people, by jobs, by all
Mhm.
kind of stuff, and I've really had to learn to like put my all into God and like literally let God be my foundation. So I would say that is really my biggest like lesson. Is that what you got
Yeah.
me?
A bit like, yeah, your turning point moment, like
Oh
what
yeah, that
happened.
was my turning point.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
being down at ground zero, or at my breaking point and just realizing like nothing is working, like no one can save me but God. Like and God has always been a constant for me. Like, people change, situations change, but like God, he's always been the same and he's always
Mhm.
been there. So I feel like all of those events that occurred that put me at my lowest was my turning point to really like switch up how I operate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is so essential too, like, just
Yeah.
being a young woman and being a woman in general, like, it's really tough because I think we are, and I think just the people that you and I are specifically too,
Yeah.
I think it's tough because a lot of times we expect people to treat us how we treat them. And
Mhm.
it's not anything that's a negative or bad, but
No.
when you are such a person who like takes on others' emotions or
Mhm.
feelings or like it's not because we want to, it's just like
No.
the way that we're made up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really being able to pull out of that space and um, pour into us and realize, like you said, it's not working. Like you're trying to fill
Yeah.
all these things, pour all these things in these gaps, and you're thinking that they'll make you whole, but it won't.
It
The only thing that
won't.
will is like that relationship with God. And
Yeah.
therefore, like having that relationship with God gives you the clearance to have a full
Mhm.
relationship with yourself and like know
Yeah.
yourself.
And
Yeah.
it gives you the clearance to have a full relationship with other people too. Because I feel like in these moments where, I
Mm.
have felt disappointment and stuff, when I was
Yeah.
grounded and found it like in God, I swear it's like things just didn't phase me. I would be like, okay, that person is, I'm not going to take their actions personally. I go to straight to God. Versus,
Yeah.
back then when I wasn't grounded in God, it was like something bad would happen and I would instantly fall into depression, instantly fall like my anxiety, all of that would be at an all-time high. So it's just
Mhm.
like knowing that like God just has my back through everything. Like it's so reassuring and gives you like an unstoppable feeling like okay, like no matter what happens, I'm going to be good because God got my back. Um but yeah, that's how I feel about that for sure. It's pretty
That's
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's
good.
good. Everyone needs to know it.
Everyone needs to know it. Everyone needs to know it. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Hey.
I have a question for you. What is your favorite way to relax? Let's say you've had like
Mm.
such a long week, like you barely made it through the week, but you have a day off. What are you
Mhm.
doing on that day off?
Mm. Honestly, I'm a romantic, so my idea of like a great day off would be like laid up, definitely a massage because massages just like do something to me. Like 60-minute, 90-minute, like let me just lay down and not think about any like forget the
Mhm.
world.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, definitely just something calming, like, not heavy responsibilities, like something that I can just trust that everything is gonna flow and clients are like just a day where I can really not feel pressure of
Yes.
work or kid or, that vibe. That's like my calm space. Hopefully by water,
Okay.
that would be
So
calming.
vacation, beach
In a
vibe, like
hammock.
okay.
Yeah, those things are all like coming, but yeah, something relaxing. Um, yeah, that would be peace. Peace to me is like massage,
Yeah.
no no responsibilities, yeah.
Okay. Heavy on the no responsibilities. I was sitting here thinking myself and I was like, dang, I really feel like my terms of relaxing and peace has, like, tremendously changed from, like,
Mm,
what it used to be a while ago. A while ago, I would be like, "I just need, like, absolutely nothing. I wanna be on a plane, a flight, going away, blah, blah, blah." But nowadays, like, just because how much work has piled on recently, it's just, like, having nothing to do, like, genuinely having nothing to do, it hits
yes,
different. Like,
that's
no
it.
to-do list, nothing to schedule
Yeah,
out, nothing like, oh my god, absolutely nothing.
yeah, not
Like,
even a to catch, like,
no,
it's
and I find myself, like, feeling, like, guilty or, like, feeling like, "Man, I should have something to do." Like, I'm, like, actively trying to find something to do because I'm so used to having something to do. So,
mhm,
yeah, having nothing to
but
do, no responsibilities hits so different.
so different, yeah, and I mean, it goes by really fast too,
Oh
but
my god, yes.
still, yeah, if you try not to think about it, it's still just, like, the anticipation. Like, I saw something on Instagram today, and it was like, that sleep before your day off is just different. Like, that
It
night
is.
before, that's, like, the best part, not even the
That's
day.
the
It's like,
best
I
part.
go to bed and just not have to wake up, like, at
Oh
any
my
time.
god, exactly, like, literally, and then that day when you wake up,
Yeah,
it feels good too, because it's like, "Wow, I
yeah,
have a whole 24 hours," well, not really 24 at that point, like 16 hours to really
yeah.
just exist.
Mhm,
No,
mhm.
like but at the same time, I feel like you have to strategically still plan those days out because since they do
Yeah,
go by so fast, like if you do want to relax in a way of like self-care of like going to get your nails done or just,
yeah.
going to get that massage or going on a walk, like you still got to fit it in the schedule because time is moving so fast.
It does, especially, yeah, those days off, it's like,
Yeah.
"Alright, it's over now." Like,
Exactly.
start preparing for tomorrow.
No, literally, and then you'll, like, look around and you'll be like, "Dang, like, I was supposed to do X, Y, and Z, and I didn't get that
Yes.
done," but it's literally because, like, I feel like we're in fast forward 3 times speed, like, on the computer whenever you're watching a movie and it's like you're fast forwarding and it gives you the different speed options. We're in
Yeah.
times 3, period.
Yeah, times 3. Okay, I have something for you. Okay, Erica, what do you want to try that you have not tried before?
That's so crazy, you're annoying because I was gonna ask you that next. But
Really?
it's
Whether it be
I
food
had that
okay, whether
question lined up, but it's fine. I'm gonna ask
oh,
something different.
no.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
we have the
What?
same minds.
Yes. Okay.
Whether it be food or activity,
Okay.
or both, you can answer for both.
What do I want to try? I know as crazy as it sounds, and I'll really have to be in the mood to actually go through with this, but
Oh,
I
no.
really do want to go
Okay.
skydiving. I think
I knew you were gonna say
skydiving, I
that.
think skydiving would be so fun. Like, I just feel like it would
Yeah,
set you free 100%. Like, it would just set
yeah.
you free.
I
Like,
do think that it takes, like, a different type of, like, release. It takes, like, a different type
yeah,
of
because
yeah, like,
I feel like in a
breathe.
sense yes, exactly. I feel like in a sense that your life is, like, flashing before your eyes, like, it's so
Yeah,
dangerous, like, but that's, like, the same kind of feeling that I get on, like, a roller coaster, like, you're like,
yeah.
"Alright, putting all my trust in this." I'm like
Just,
but
like,
yeah,
whatever.
I would probably do
Yes,
skydiving. How about you?
okay. I always take forever to think. I don't
No, you're
know.
fine.
I
I
don't
know it was
know.
kinda hard question too. I was
That's
kinda like,
tough.
eh, because I wanted to
Yeah,
go
'cause I
deeper and,
wouldn't
like,
wanna
think about yeah, like, lifestyle things I wanted to try, but I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I think I would really love okay, there's a few things now that I think about. So, I really would love to dive into actually being a YouTuber for some reason, like, I
Mm.
don't know, maybe just a platform on, like, what I learn day to day, vlogging even, that would be cool, but I just know it's not my vibe because I, like, don't love to do it all the time.
Mhm.
Um, and then I would love to, like, go undersea, like, in a submarine or something, like, all the way down, like, I wouldn't because of fear,
Right.
but I would love to, like, that would be something that if I knew that there's no way that
Nothing
anything can happen,
mhm.
I would, but being that there is a chance,
Oh, that's
I'm
pretty
gonna
interesting.
let that fear, win. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's okay, that was pretty
I'm
good.
super fascinated with, like, the underwater, like, super fascinated, like, treasures.
Mhm.
Maybe I would do, like, because I have seen people do, like they'll go across the country and, like, find abandoned houses everywhere, like, all over, and they'll just go through things or, like I
Oh,
really
okay, I
love
see what you
that
mean.
stuff.
Okay, I like
Yeah,
that kind of
like,
vibe too.
historical yeah,
Mhm.
like, looking back, like, thinking about, like, how someone else was staring at this in, like, the 1800s. I don't know, I
Mhm.
like that.
That really reminds me of when I was little, I would, like I would, like, write letters or, like, write little notes and stuff and, like, bury them in our
Bury them!
backyards
Oh
and
my
stuff like
god,
that,
me
like, or just, like,
too!
little like, just random little toys and stuff, we would, like, bury them, we
Yeah.
could, like, "Someone's gonna find this 500 years later," like
Yeah,
yeah,
dang.
no, that reminded me of that, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, we
Mhm.
always used to write on everything like Desi was here or Erica was
Yes,
here, like those
yes.
things, like that was so funny.
Or, like in the movies, whenever they had, like, a tree stump, they would always, like, carve a heart and, like, put their initials or something, and
Oh
I've always
yeah, that's
wanted to
cute.
do that when I was
Me
little as
too.
well, but
Or the little lock. Ooh, that's the cutest thing I love. In like Paris or wherever, they
yes.
put like the locks and the names.
We
That's
should
so
do that
cute.
one day. That's
We
cute.
should,
We should
where
do
we go
it.
travel.
Yes, we
Yeah.
should do it because that would be
Okay.
fun. I mean, I feel like that's a good experience.
Yeah,
Um,
doing it.
yeah. Well, you did say a little bit about like YouTubing and vlogging and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like as something that you would potentially want to get into if you
Yeah.
could be consistent and all of that. But
Mhm.
which I know you could, but I'm saying that's what you could. Okay, so who do you want to be, Desiree? Like who is your highest self? Like introduce us to the highest version of
Hmm.
yourself. Very demore wait, what was that word?
There's
What
more. Is it like I've heard people say demure.
Yeah, I've heard people say demore, and then I've heard so many different
I've
variations
heard
of
it
it.
demore, just
Yeah,
demore,
demore.
yeah. I
And
don't know.
cutesy,
Okay, yeah, and
but
cutesy,
that's
yeah.
the
Very
vibe.
one of a kind, Yeah, so okay, Desiree's highest version. I definitely think like, everything that a girl like wishes or like hopes for, like
Mhm,
just, wifey material, an amazing mom, a someone, who's just also independent. Cause I was talking to my cousin about this yesterday. Like,
mhm.
um, I think the new version of a woman is like and even a wife, like, because
Yeah.
you can be independent and still be like a wife. You can just have your own. That's what I mean. You can have your own and still be a wife. Um, so yeah, I think that's me. Like before I step into that side of myself, I want to be like completely independent, like have all of my own to bring into my relationship. And not all of, because I don't want to be like retired and ready to be done, but I want to establish myself
Mhm.
completely in the world, and especially having a child, like I want to have myself established stepping into something. So I think the highest version of myself is, yeah, like just that, like very on the brink of my full capacity, like establishing myself, being that mom, being that balanced woman. Yeah.
Ah, I love that. That was such a great response, and I definitely agree. The goal of being a woman has definitely changed over time, and nowadays it's like we do value independence,
Yeah.
whereas, in the past, women would solely rely on a man and it was okay. Like,
Yeah.
that was just the way it
And
was.
going back to what you just said, like I think when you do like achieve spaces as a woman, like you realize that, yeah, it's not just you have to be that wholeness for yourself, like you were saying. Like you have to be that highest version of yourself in order to be even balanced for other parts for your man, for your child, for your relationships and your friendships. Like it's very important to have yourself established and have that balance mentally so that it can, elude into these relationships and these parts of your life. But you have to be whole within yourself to even get there, and like
Uh,
comfortable.
I
Yeah.
agree. No, I definitely agree. And um I think it's smart for women nowadays, especially since we do live in the
Yeah.
reality where, you aren't just marrying a man for him to just take care of you and then you become,
Yeah.
solely a housewoman. We live in a world where things are so expensive where both parties are finding themselves having to work at X, Y, and Z. So as a woman, especially if you want to have kids, like you said, it's so important that you do ground yourself, that you do hold your dreams and aspirations, close to you and actually follow through with them and not just put it on the back burner, because I feel like
Mhm.
that's a thing that a lot of women regret is when they, do get married and they just let their goals and their dreams go because
Right.
now they have, added responsibilities of being a wife and being a mother, and it's time consuming. And I'm not saying that it's easy to keep your dreams alive while all that is going, because I know it's not whatsoever.
Yeah.
But if it is in your power and then you do have the choice and you do have the availability to actually, set yourself up for success before getting in, getting married or having kids further, um, then I feel like you're gonna succeed. Like I just feel like it's just a smarter move nowadays. Um, just because a lot of women have found themselves in really bad positions just having to solely rely on a man. So
Yeah.
for your man's sake and for your sake, it's just good to
Yeah.
stay true to yourself and make sure that you follow through with everything that God has planted in you, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. Finish doing your work before you enter something else, because that's just like the killer. Actually, my mom sent me a voice note this morning of like a verse she was reading in the Bible. I think it was Malachi, but I really don't remember. But I just
Mhm.
remember it that like it was speaking on women and getting into things when they're not healed. And
Mm.
it was just so deep because it was saying like you become bitter, towards your husband
Yes.
when he's rejoicing. And it was like, you don't want to push your man to, and stay down for him. And then whenever he does achieve what he achieves, all this bitterness comes back up because you actually laid down so much. But you have to make sure that you're healed before. It literally was saying that, like, you have to make sure that you do your work and don't hold what your father did to you. That was like the words, what your father did to you. And what the world did to you, whatever, how you interpret it. But it was like you don't want to hold on to what your father did to you and make yourself bitter towards your husband, that it had nothing, your husband didn't hurt you.
Mm.
But yeah, it was, and that's important because it's like you have to be able to be healed so that you can be happy for another, whether it's your husband or another relationship.
I 1000% agree. And I feel like that goes along with like actually setting yourself up, for marriage and kids, etc. Because if you're not healed, you're just taking all of that with you. And then next thing you know, your kids need to heal from you. Your
Oh,
husband has to heal from you,
yeah.
So like heal yourself, do whatever it takes necessary to actually forgive. And
Mm.
that's something that I've been working on recently. I've been going through these Bible plans. Like I'm trying to find a solution because actually accomplishing true forgiveness is something that is so hard,
Mm.
and I don't think people talk
Hard.
about it enough. I feel like we have this like cut off culture where you may like cut off a person and you never have to talk to them again, and it's easy to forgive them, then, but how do you forgive someone and constantly have
Yeah.
to see them every single
So
day,
then,
your father,
and
your
to
boyfriend?
go,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
To
you
go a
have to
step
love them.
further too, to add to that, how do you forgive someone when most people in this world that we are trying to forgive aren't asking for it and don't even acknowledge that they are in the wrong or have been in the wrong?
Oh, that's a loaded one too. That's a loaded one too. And
Yeah.
it's like since I am like a woman of faith and like, I do believe in the Bible and stuff, I like try to lean into the word and like really, believe what God says. And like yesterday night I was just reading and he was basically saying like stop, trying to find or seek revenge. Like just let God do
Mhm.
it. Like we come to God and we ask him for help with relationships, with people, with family members, but we don't let him do the work. We still feel like we need to feel, X, Y, and Z. We still feel like we need to see them suffer. They need to understand how they made us suffer, you know. But it's out of your control, and it's best to actually like just release it, you know, so that you can move on. But yeah, forgiveness is a big thing that has just been like weighing on me, and I'm like, I need to learn how to really, really, really forgive when the situation is constantly presented in front of you, you know? So it's hard.
And this saying really is true, like, you forgive for you and not for others,
Yeah.
because if if we forgave for others, we would most likely never be, given the proper forgiveness. So,
Mm.
yeah, it's true, the famous saying, "Let go and let God," all the things. It's just like, you have to do the work for you, because if you wait on other people's time, you'll never, like my ex used to say, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. So if you want to be healed, get it done, because you can't
Yes.
wait for Molly and Sue and
Yeah.
Buckaroo. It's never going to happen.
Exactly. And I feel like it's another thing that I've done personally, and I feel like a lot of people do, is they just suppress things. They suppress
Yeah.
them. They never actively work through things. I feel like I mean, we have so many distractions nowadays. I feel like we just fill the void with a whole bunch of distractions. And years later, that same problem is still there. It's still affecting all of your actions. It's still affecting X, Y, and Z. So as hard as it is, which is
You're talking.
like, listen, this is something I'm going through myself. As hard as it is, you have to face it. Like, you cannot just run away from everything. And I'm a runner. Like, as soon as I feel the vibe is off, like, I'm like, all right, let me
Oh,
exit, like, you know, like, or whatever. But like, no, like, sit there, sit with yourself,
yeah.
you know, take away the noise, the environmental noise, and like really hone in and understand your feelings towards the situation. And I feel like that's like one of the first steps to actually like forgiving and healing. Um, you know, and just I mean, if you do believe in God, that's the best thing that you can do is like try to give your problems away to God, because 9 times out of 10, there's nothing you can do about it. The past is the past. They've already wronged you, or you've already wronged them. You know, sometimes we have to talk about forgiving yourself too. That's
Yeah.
not always the easiest thing to do as well. But yeah, I don't know. Forgiveness is a big shebang.
Yeah, it's a whole, like, piece of your life that you have to focus on, because in
Mhm.
all relationships, it's, like, just something that needs to be addressed,
Yeah.
because it will break you in all different types of ways that you would have never, like,
Yeah.
you you'll feel like you need to forgive people that don't even you need to, because it's like you project it on them almost if you're not healed.
Yeah.
Like, it's so many levels.
So many levels. And
Yeah.
it's just not healthy and it's not good for you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so
And you
it,
make things bigger than they are, sometimes when you're not healed, like, it's just so many.
yeah.
Yeah. Hard. It's hard out here.
It's
But
hard.
we're gonna heal together, guys. Let's
Yes,
heal
you're gonna
together.
heal together.
Because me and Erica's healing, just so you know. Like, find a friend. Maybe they will be your healing. Like,
Yes. And I feel like that's another form of therapy, as well as like
yeah.
finding a genuine person that you can really, really, really trust and that you can really, really, really depend on. Because I've seen it so many times. Friends aren't really friends nowadays, and they'll like literally you'll confide in them X, Y, and Z, and then next thing you know, once you guys fall out, they want to air out your business. That's not
Like,
what you want.
do you
That's not what
dirty.
you mean
Yeah.
when you say confide in a friend. Like, find a trusted partner, a
Mm.
trusted whoever, I don't care, whatever, that's your business. But like, it's so good to have someone to talk to things. And we were just talking the other day, and I was like, Desiree, like that conversation that we had earlier was so reassuring, so
Yeah.
reaffirming. I was like in
Yeah.
my head, like all week anxious. I'll just be honest.
No.
In my head all week anxious and like just felt overwhelmed. And we had a great conversation. And afterwards, I just felt like, whoa, I'm not the only one going through these things. I'm not the only one tripping. Like, I'm not tripping.
Yeah. No, really though. That's how I always feel. Like, that's really important, guys, to just hone in on that, because and someone that makes you feel seen, like, you want to be in connection with people who are just genuine. And for everybody that's going to be somebody different, but for somebody who you can be seen by and they can be seen by you, like, those are the relationships that allow you to heal, because when you can't feel seen by somebody or you can't really be on the same page at all with somebody, it's not what you need. Like, and that's okay. Like everyone is here for someone else or some experience that they have to have, or like we're all here for the glory of the Lord. So it's just like you don't know where you're gonna be needed, or but when you find it. So I think that's, yeah, just something you gotta hold on to.
I think that's so good too. Oh, that was great. That was great. But yeah, well, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. It's just
Yeah.
it's such a vibe, it's such a good conversation. And I'm also curious, like I said, I'm actively trying to forgive people. I'm actively trying to heal myself so that I can be a better version of myself for everyone else. So if you guys do have any tips or suggestions for like the forgiveness process or the healing process, definitely, let us know. I know one of my favorite methods currently that I use is just journaling. So if you need a journal, I say it every episode, but definitely visit the journals,
Very,
www.don'tunderestimateher.com, because
yeah.
no, sometimes you really do just have to sit with yourself and just mind dump, because even on those days where you just feel low and you don't know or you can't pinpoint what's wrong with you, take out a pen and paper and just write and just see what
Mhm.
comes out. And chances are it's something that is unhealed and you need to focus on it because it's trying to come back to the surface. So,
And one more thing, like in that same space, I promise you guys, like I've been a diary girl since I was so young. And I look back and have pages of like maybe like I have a dot on the page like where I started and like tears. Like you can just see the wet little wilks, but like I'll just date it because like I feel like just to think back, like when I look back at my diaries and I'll think back at like where I was in that space, and then I'll look at the date and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what was heavy on my heart. Or, it's good to see yourself transform and transcend because you're like, I was there, I was so low, I was, worried about this. And like, look what God did with that. Look where God brought me. Like,
yes.
it's healing. It really is. Even if you have no words, like date it and go through what you have to go through.
Yeah. And just one more thing on top of that. Sorry guys.
This is good.
I think it's so important to just keep a daily diary or to just, journal and date those
Yeah.
times of frustrations too, because one thing that I've learned is that it helps you identify patterns,
Mm,
and it helps you identify, what you need to work on. Because if you're constantly complaining about the same thing over and over again, the same
mhm.
situation, if something's making you feel some kind of way, chances are, that's what you need to work on. So it's going to help you identify toxic patterns, or it's going to help you identify strengths, your areas of strengths that you really, thrive in. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are,
Yeah, this guys. just
we got a
just
ton more,
jumping
I
into it.
swear.
Yeah, we got a really good season coming up. We wanted to just
Yes.
like vibe out this episode and just enjoy each other because this is
Yeah,
what we do with or without y'all. So we're like, let's
literally.
just show the world. But yeah, this season is going to be really really fun. We've got some fun ideas and places that we're going to go and take you guys to with us. So we're really excited.
Really excited, and I'm like here for good conversation. I feel like that's something that's lacked nowadays. I feel like on social media people are always saying we have the same conversations that are being recycled X, Y, and Z. Well, we're gonna have some real conversations here, okay? So
Get
yeah,
to
yeah,
we're
for
going to get to here on Make Your Wish. So
oh, 100.
make your we're going
Okay.
to continue
Wait,
all
we
of
didn't
our
make
wishes.
our wish this time because we did
Yeah,
not make our
we
wish
need
last
to.
episode. Okay, so
Yeah.
at this time, we're gonna close our eyes and make a wish. You don't have to tell anyone your wish. We'll just take
Mhm.
about 30 seconds and we'll do it. Okay, so let's make our wish in three, two, and one. That was like perfect time.
Yeah, that was perfect timing.
I always end it with amen. I feel like it's like a little prayer. I'd be like, amen.
Me too. No, I said it too.
But yes, we thank you guys so much for reviewing this podcast. Once again, let us know your thoughts. please like, comment, and subscribe. It just helps us continuously grow. So, yeah, we're excited for season 2, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.